everybody, my name is Bek and thank you so much for meeting me on Monday. Today's question is a follow-up from my miscarriage story, and it's how am I going and are we still trying to conceive? So if you like the sound of this video, grab your cup of coffee, get comfy because we're gonna start chatting. So for those of you who are just meeting me for the first time, thank you so much for tuning in and wondering what my story is. I know that I search on YouTube a whole heap about miscarriages, about people trying to conceive, and most importantly, people who fall pregnant after conception, because I wanted to know hope that this isn't just a sad story, that things would get better and could get better. And that's the reason why I'm uploading this Meet With Me on Mondays, because I want to share my story on how I am traveling. Miscarriages aren't spoken enough of, and the statistics are so high that so many people go through this. My dream is that this will connect with someone so that they don't feel alone in this process and that their feelings are completely normal and natural. So if you haven't watched my video and you want to get some more details, then definitely click on this video up here. It literally is my whole story. But I guess the long and the short of the story is that in July we fell pregnant. In August I found out that I was pregnant, and I kept it a secret until the first Sunday of September because it was Father's Day here in Australia, and I wanted to surprise Michael with the big news that we were expecting baby number 3. And unfortunately we went for our growth scan on the 21st of September to find out that Alex's heart had stopped beating. So that was a Saturday, and then on the Monday I met with my OBGYN and we got my D&C scheduled and booked and had it that day, because the following day, which was a Tuesday, we were flying out to New Zealand for a week and a half. It definitely wasn't idealistic in the way that it all had to kind of chaotically get done, but through it all, honestly, God was just orchestrating a beautiful masterpiece, because there was no way that everything could line up so beautifully in such a chaotic time of my life. I'm so thankful that we were able to have surgery that day. I had no complications. My D&C was a textbook perfect D&C. And then the rest of the journey continues, and that's what I'm sharing with you guys today. I had HCG levels, which is the pregnancy hormone level, for about a month and a half after my D&C. And the only reason why I knew this was going to happen was because I watched YouTube videos of other mums post D&C and their journeys. And it's so disheartening because it's another visual reminder of what you've lost, but also they tell you that you are most fertile in those 3 months after a miscarriage. I was really bummed because I didn't know if we were gonna fall pregnant, because I was still testing positive to pregnancy. And so for that month, especially that first cycle, even though we tried, it was one of those things where it's like, well, I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna know if we're pregnant unless my cycle just doesn't restart. And so came and it went, and so we were on our 2nd month of trying, and it's really a big deal when you are trying after a miscarriage, like abundantly huge, because you get so disheartened for the fact that you've done this before, that you were successful at it, and that it didn't come to anything. And so it's a big mental mind game when you are trying to conceive again after having a miscarriage. And the 2nd month was probably the hardest month of trying, because the 1st month we kind of did it as a write-off. The 2nd month we gave it a red hot go, still didn't fall pregnant. And I think that's when it started to become a bit disheartening, because we knew that the first 3 months were your most fertile and we still weren't falling pregnant. So we tried again for the 3rd time, and it would have been the most amazing Christmas present, because I would have been pregnant for Christmas, which would have just been a great end of the year after having such a bad one. And unfortunately, I got a false positive, and I had heard that they're so rare, but on the 12th of December, I took a test, 2 lines popped up. I was so ecstatic. I went and I told Mick, and we celebrated, and I said to him, what happens if this gets taken away from me again? And he's like, no. It's really unlikely for false positives, like 2 lines are 2 lines. And then I think it was like a week and a half later, I got my answer, wasn't pregnant. And it shook me 100%. Like, I think like having a miscarriage is bad, and then to get a false positive after trying, it just breaks your heart, because once again it's like you think you are and then you're not. So it is now January. It has been 4 months since my D&C and we are still trying. I know that this will happen in God's perfect timing, and some of the wisest words that I have been told and that have read is that no, I am not trying to replace Alex. Alex will never be replaced in my heart. And the reason why we're trying again is because we desire to have a large family. Like, we would love to have 4 kids. We want our home to be full of love, of laughter, of memories, the highs, the lows. We want to experience all of it with kids, lots of kids. And so I guess that answers the question of, are we trying to conceive? Absolutely. But I know that it's in God's timing, and I guess something that is really helping me to get through this season is that I'm now not focusing on it as much. After the D&C, we went onto Amazon or eBay and we got a whole heap of those cheap pregnancy tests, because I was trying to test to make sure that my HGC levels were gone, so that if I ever got a positive test, I would know that that was it, we're pregnant again, hooray! But this also encouraged me to get so consumed by trying that every morning I would test, because I'm like, oh, they're cheap, I'll just test. And I think that's how I got my false positive, was obviously I got it on a day where there was something there, but it just wasn't meant to be. One of my New Year's resolutions, which if you want to watch up here, I say all about it, is to stop being consumed by falling pregnant. But on the other hand, I am going to celebrate my body. I'm going to get strong and healthy, because I can't control falling pregnant. I wish that I could. I wish with all my heart that I could control getting pregnant, having a healthy pregnancy, and having a bub in my arms. But I can't, because that is all up to God. So something that I can control is my food, my diet, and also my exercise. And so as of today, being the 15th of January, I am in full swing of looking after myself, being healthy, so that if that month is unsuccessful, as sad as it is, I haven't spent all my energy, time, and focus on being pregnant, that I still can focus on something good. And that good is the fact that I am getting my body fitter and stronger and healthier, so that when I do fall pregnant, I am at my optimal ability to be pregnant and to nourish that child and look after that child while they are in my stomach for 9 glorious months. And that is something that I'm looking forward to. Like I said, miscarriages aren't spoken of enough for people to have strategies or support networks when things like this happen. And let me say to you 100% what my doctor said to me, and it's that there was nothing that you have done to cause this. Like, I know that my first response was why and how. I guess the biggest thing was, why did it happen and what could have been done to prevent it from happening? And the thing is, I got told that it was just a chromosomal deficiency where the body knew that it wouldn't be a viable pregnancy. Fact is, that body had a soul, and that soul is in heaven, and that was the plan and purpose for that child. And as much as it sucks not to be able to be their mom, I know that one day I will be reunited with them. And in saying that, these are the 2 things that have helped me process my grief, to help me to be at peace as much as I can be, because I'm still sad about it. And falling pregnant is not gonna make me not sad about it, but this is just helping me on my journey. When it happened, I reached out to my community and I acknowledged the life that had been lost. And a lot of women got in contact with me and shared their stories and their strategies, and that is what I am going to share with you today, because I feel like this is something that does need to be shared more about, and I know that I'm blessed to have the community around me to support me through this, and I just want to make sure that for those of you who don't have it, that this could help you too. So the first thing that I was told is to keep a journal. So because we went to New Zealand literally the day after my D&C, I picked up a really nice journal from New Zealand and it has a little kiwi on it. I have a front page where I was able to just do a little memorial. I love being creative. In this journal are things that have helped me along the way. So I have song lyrics, I have Bible verses, I have prayers. I've wanted to talk to Alex, or I wanted to talk to God, real and honest, and so I wrote them down. I put in here my journal entry from going to the lavender farm and how much peace that brought me, because I never want to forget that turning point in my grief. I put in conversations that I had had with people who I trust and who had spoke wisdom and life over me, and I wanted to remember that. And most of all, I documented anything that stood out to me that people had said or posted on social media and wrote it down. So this journal is a great place for you to be able to write down your thoughts, to see where you might be getting caught in the emotion and in the grief and being caught up in lies that you don't need to have in your life. Having lost a baby is such an emotional thing that you can just process things out of an emotional side of your brain and you don't see logic or reason. There needs to be that balance where you validate the emotions that you're feeling, but you also look at it from a logical point of view where it wasn't your fault, it sucks that it happens, but you can get on and you can grow and you can share your story so that others can get through this as well. My second strategy was one that was recently given to me by a friend who had also lost multiple babies, unfortunately, in her life. And she said that having a teddy was something that got her through it. And so I bought this little bear from a lavender farm down in Tasmania, and they shipped it up before Christmas. And I call this my little Alex bear. It is a lavender heat pack and I love it because it's weighted and it smells like lavender, which I love because it just calms me. And I just, whenever I'm sad because I want to hold my baby that I can't hold, I give this bear a little hug and I say a quiet prayer, and that really helps me to get through all of this. So that is something that is so simple, but I feel like can make such a big difference. So that is how I'm answering this question of how am I going in my miscarriage and are we still trying to conceive? I hope that this has spoken to you if you are going through this journey. If you're watching it to support me, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, because this is something that I'm still journeying through and I just wanted to get my story out there. So like always, if you've enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really supports my channel. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button if you haven't become part of our YouTube family, because this parenting gig doesn't come with a rule book. We only have each other. And I'll see you in my next video.